And when you put it that way, that is facing reality. Because often the problem is that we are in that situation. That is to say, I'm chasing someone who doesn't care about me, but we don't want to see the part where they don't care. We start analyzing within what this person offers us the smallest behaviors that might suggest otherwise. Like maybe this person does care about me, or I think they have cared about me. In short, we are reluctant to see reality. Often it's not about realizing that this person doesn't care about us because they snub us. Many times, it's simply about noticing. In fact, I think now caring about someone is more about noticing what this person does for us. Negatively, it's about noticing what this person stops doing for us positively. Because when someone cares about me, this person is usually willing to do quite a lot. For me, I will notice, that is to say, it's very difficult to hide that someone cares about us, right? But of course, when someone feels, that is, when we feel for someone, we can become quite blind. And also it may be that initially or for a while, this person gave us signs that they do care about us, that we do spark their curiosity, and perhaps they do worry. And then when things change, we don't want to acknowledge it. But when we start calling things by their name and begin to suspect, what I see from how this person behaves, from how they act, is that they don't care about me, then we already formulate the phrase correctly. And it is, what happens when I stop chasing not a person, not someone with whom I can't form something, no, someone who doesn't care about me? Well, posed like that, it obviously sounds like a sure gain, doesn't it? What happens if I win the lottery? Well, it might bring something negative, it can bring things, but at first glance, everything seems to look good, right? Well, stop chasing someone who doesn't care about me. Certainly sensible, favorable, and the only thing that can happen from here is that it brings me things. Good, they sound. And indeed, that's how it is. And I'm going to talk to you about two good things that will be a sure consequence of stopping chasing someone who doesn't care about you. One has to do with you, and the other has to do with that person. Let's start with you first. The first thing that will happen the moment you decide that you're no longer going to chase someone because you feel that they don't care, that is, why would I want to be with someone? Or why? Would I make an effort to try to be with someone who is showing me that they don't want to be with me? And this is putting your fist on the table. This often, especially if you've been in this situation for a while, means saying enough is enough. It's a bet on myself. It's a first and important step again in the direction of self-love. Because even if you think that you do care about yourself or that you do give yourself consideration, if you are in a situation where you are willing to chase after someone who gives you nothing in return, who shows you that you don't matter to them, you are not loving yourself. You are not loving yourself because it is not compatible. We think we do, right? No, of course I love myself. Loving yourself is not wanting anything horrible to happen to you. Loving yourself is not just survival. Loving yourself is truly taking care of yourself. It's looking out for yourself. And when you love yourself, a healthy pride emerges. Because there is a difference between bad pride, the pride of being wrong and not being able to apologize, or not being able to give in on anything, or needing to be above others. That is an unhealthy pride. But then there is a necessary and healthy pride, which is when you show me that you don't reciprocate, it bothers me. Something inside me hurts. And it's like, okay, fine. But obviously, if you can't see my worth, I'm not interested in you. I mean, the moment you make it clear to me that you don't like me, I stop liking you. This deflates me, this provokes me. Rejection. I see you with different eyes. It's like I no longer see it. Feasible, I don't see it as appropriate. Like, well, that's it, I might feel sad, but I don't consider that I should try to fix it or convince you. Because as I say, that healthy pride within me, which comes from self-love, gets offended and says, that's it, it's me. It's me who doesn't want to be with someone who doesn't want to be with you. I mean, at this moment, the ball is no longer in your court. And certainly, it's not in mine for me to do something. It's in mine to decide that if those are the conditions, if that's how things are, that I don't matter to you, that you don't like me, that you're not willing. Well, I don't want it either anymore. Above all, I say this for those cases where there has been a change, right? Which at first wasn't like that, if we felt, or if this person showed us that this was something mutual, but at a given moment, things change. And then I have two options. I can either insist that I can't stand this and I don't want to accept it, and I have to strive to be good enough, to earn merits, to make you see that it's a big mistake and that we have to be together because I need us to be together. Or can my self-love speak at that moment and say, oh, you're showing me an attitude that hurts me. It harms me to realize. It pains me to think that you no longer like me because I had gotten my hopes up. It hurts me. Obviously, I protect myself, and don't worry, I'm the first person who also doesn't want to be there. That is loving you. That is giving you importance. Because in the end, that is protecting you just as you would protect anyone you care about. Think about it. That is to say, the situation where you feel that you don't matter to someone instead of being you. If you had someone you care about, I don't know, a family member, your sister, your mother, a good friend, someone you truly care about. What happens when you see someone you care about who is perhaps going out of their way, or has a lot of feelings, or is suffering for someone who is not giving them the same in return? What comes from within you is to tell that person to forget about it. That person doesn't deserve you. Don't chase after them. Don't go to... In other words, don't expose yourself to rejection. Don't go again looking for a situation where this person has the luxury of being the one to reject you. That's not what you want. What comes out is this instinct of protection and the instinct to say, I don't want that for you because you deserve so much more. Well, I've explained it many times on the channel. Loving yourself is not so different from loving someone else. In fact, the easiest way to understand it is that. Because many times we get confused and believe that loving myself a lot is just standing in front of the mirror, telling myself positive affirmations, which I'm not saying is bad, but it's useless to you to do exercises in favor of loving yourself. If you don't, then show it with actions. It's like the person who tells you a lot, yes, I love you, I'm going to be with you, but then doesn't make time, but then doesn't pay attention to you. That is to say, a lot of words, little action. Well, it's the same with yourself. Loving yourself is like loving someone else. So, telling yourself on one hand that you love yourself, knowing that you deserve something better, knowing that you are in a situation that is not suitable for you, but believing that you still matter to yourself, no. It creates a conflict. And the moment you realize that you deserve more, because believe me, until you understand that you deserve more, no one will give you more. So the moment you realize, hey, no, yes, I do deserve more, no. I have to settle for someone who is showing me that I don't matter to them. You set a turning point there. Things change. And there you allow, because there is coherence between your words and your actions. You allow the relationship with yourself to improve again. Why? Because you are proving to yourself that yes, you love yourself and you are aware of your worth, and that you are worth much more than wasting your time with a person who shows you that they might have you as a plan C, who doesn't know what they want, who might snub you, who doesn't value what you give them. You deserve infinitely more because you deserve to be reciprocated no matter what. I can tell you that. You deserve to be reciprocated. And when you stop chasing after that person, when you are no longer willing to lift a finger for that person, you are proving to yourself, okay, I am indeed aware of my worth, not just paying lip service, not half-heartedly. I am proving it to myself. I am protecting myself, which ultimately means I am loving myself, which translates to having self-love. And the second thing that will happen when you stop chasing the person who is not showing you, or rather who is showing you that they don't care, is that we will find out if that's really the case, if this person truly doesn't care about you or hear. What is happening is that we are facing a clear example of this person undervaluing you, often merely because of how things have unfolded. Here it helps a lot to also know sometimes which way the wind is blowing when we realize, hey, who has been more on top of things? I might have unbalanced things a bit. The scale, impatience might have gotten the better of me a little. I am a person who, when I fall for someone, I go very straightforward. I'm always on top of things. I tend to be very euphoric, very enthusiastic, right? And I go after them. If that's your case, if you realize, being completely honest, that in relationships, what usually happens to you is that maybe you don't have topics to attract others. But the moment you start getting involved, one of two things happens. Either you quickly get filled with anxiety because you can't help but commit a lot to the outcome. And then very quickly, you stop acting like your true self, which is a problem we've analyzed many times on the channel. And the very anxiety of wanting this to go well leads you to sabotage yourself. Or you are the type of person who indeed cannot help but need, in some way, to have control of the situation. And you think that by being in frequent contact with the person you need, let's say to a certain extent, that the other person constantly confirms their interest in you. Because in the end, that's what it is, right? It's our insecurity, our fear that they might not like us, which often leads us to believe, no, it's just that I want to know a lot about him or her, right? That every time you know, every time you contact the person and they communicate with you and give you a response, or you are constantly looking for them to say something that shows attraction, that shows sympathy, that constantly confirms that they do like you. That yes, that, hey, things are going well, right? If you realize that you are one of those people who needs confirmation and you've tried to control it, but in the end, it's very difficult for you. I tell you that practice, a simple but quite effective trick is, until you learn to try to have little free time. Really? A tired body usually quiets or calms the mind a lot. That is, if you, beyond your work, you have too much time and you realize that you are a more ruminative person, because this goes a bit hand in hand, right? The fact of needing all this is also very much accompanied by being the type of person who analyzes everything a lot. We go over a situation many times and review it. If we arrive at the same situation in a matter of hours, we can come to 20 or 500 different conclusions, right? If you realize that this happens to you, that try to take advantage by saying, well, I'm going to look for more activities. I'm not saying you have to keep it up forever, but at least for a while have a schedule that leaves you exhausted. It doesn't all have to be work. They can be hobbies that fulfill you, whether sports, cultural, whatever you want, altruistic, giving to others. It's something we don't usually consider much when we think about activities, and it's one of the best. To become more grateful, to have a more positive perspective, to feel better about yourself. I mean, very few things are better. I recommend this, especially when we are going through a severe heartbreak, looking for some altruistic cause to participate in, to which I can give my time. This is a miracle cure. This is excellent. This is one of the best therapies we can do. Meditate therapy, talk about how you feel, give yourself to others. Go help others and contribute to the lives of others. Fantastic, and realize that many times we take for granted things that are a blessing for others. But as I say, I'm not talking about this anymore. I'm not saying you have to look for something altruistic. But yes, fill up your schedule, because I truly know so many cases of people who, by having a very full life and less time to think, end up more tired. What helps them is not taking so much initiative, not taking so much. They are really on top of it. And it has completely changed their love life. But as I say, the moment you stop looking for this person, we will be able to see it. Because truly, nowadays, unfortunately, it's very common. The power games, seeing who can do more, we like the excitement too much. We are too hooked on emotional roller coasters. So when someone comes along who doesn't present difficulty, who allows everything to go smoothly, or even makes it easy, puts in the effort, the natural tendency is to underestimate. And we don't realize the mistake until this person changes and stops prioritizing us and stops being the one who always seeks us out. That's when one day we might say, wow, what was it that I didn't see as positive? If in reality, I see this person and they are very attractive and they were really a very pleasant person and they truly listened to me and I felt very good in their company. What has prevented me from putting in a little effort myself? And maybe, have I given my attention to other people who are showing me they aren't that interested? What bad treatment? Am I giving Just like you realize when you decide to stop chasing someone who doesn't care about you, well, having stopped giving attention to a person who did care because I was busy, wasting my time with people who are now confusing me. But I don't miss that. As long as I have the person behind me, that vision doesn't change. That person has to stop following me for me to truly realize. So you see here, when you stop chasing the person who doesn't care about you, you inevitably come out ahead. And inevitably, these two things will happen. On one hand, the relationship with yourself will improve again, allowing you to reconnect with your self-love, which is basic, absolutely basic. And secondly, we verify if they truly don't care about you, or simply that this person hasn't valued you for the way you've given yourself. And that the moment you stop giving that dedication, they might really reconsider what there is. Remove that veil from your eyes of having underestimated yourself and truly appreciate your worth. Well, I hope this video helps you, that you like it. If that's the case and you're not yet subscribed to the channel, I invite you to do so, to hit the bell, because I would love for us to see each other again very soon. And until then, as always, I send you a big kiss.